Hey resetters, good day. Janine here with another video. Now today's topic, I'm going to say, is going to be broken down into a couple of different parts. And today we're going to talk about generational money myths. Is there any validity to any of the myths that we've heard, depending upon if you're a baby boomer, if you're Gen X, a millennial, a Gen Z? What are some of the myths that have been passed down to us or that are floating around in our ether? And is there any salt, right, to them? So today I'm going to start with the boomer area myths. So the first myth, just work hard and you'll be financially secure. Maybe in like the 50s, the 40s, possibly the 60s, that there was some validity there. Just go to work. Jobs back then had pensions and there was some security. It was nothing for your parents or your grandparents to start in one business or start in a job and stay there for 30, 40, 50 years. I also come from, a previous employer where a lot of people started right out of high school and literally were there 40, 45 years to retirement. And that was the norm. But if you look around today, just work hard and you'll be financially secure. That does not necessarily mean the same, not this day and age, y'all. With inflation, with layoffs right now, which are very stagnant, with the introduction of technology for those that may not have taken advantage of enhancing their skill set. There's a lot of jobs now that used to exist back in the day where robotics and technology and computers have replaced those functions. And so if you didn't catch up and learn, right, of how to be behind that technology, you pretty much were outdated and out of a job. So I would say that myth definitely is busted in today's era. The second one, buying a home is always better than renting. Well, for some, I will say that. For me, so with my clients, we talk about this, especially for folks who come and they want to buy their first home. We talk about what the motivation is behind your home. Now, I will tell you, one of the most, I'm going to use the word steady. Now, please understand, there are some fluctuations, but for the most part, the word steady makes sense in this sentence I'm going to say. Real estate is pretty steady. Generally, you buy a piece of property for one price and time will allow you to build equity in that property, and then it becomes much more than what you purchased it for. And you have an opportunity to utilize that equity. You have an opportunity to sell your home for much more than you bought it for and take the spoils, right? The additional money that you accrued in that property. Definitely it's pretty steady. But based on your lifestyle, if you want to be able to own a home and understand that the maintenance comes along with that, buying a home is definitely a commitment. If you're looking at 30-year fixed interest rate mortgages, you're talking about spending 30 years paying one bill. For most people, it's their most significant bill. But what is your motivation? So in its purest form, buying is definitely better than renting. My story, I was on the road 80% out of the year. I was traveling and teaching. I literally was writing a check to my landlord from on the road, right? Based on my job. And I was literally paying high price storage because I never was at home. So renting for me, it was okay for a period. But then as I started to make more money, taxes were killing me. I was single, no children, no husband. If you file single, you understand there's not a lot of tax breaks with the single filing. And so for me, the motivation for buying a home was being able to get some tax breaks and then also having somewhere stable. For someone like me who was always traveling, having a home base was very, very important to me. And definitely a home base that wasn't very far from my family, where family could come. And so I had a lot of reasons why it made sense. And I will share with you, when I bought my home, I was paying less in mortgage than I was renting. So there's a lot of factors. It's a very personal decision. So that myth could be accurate. But if you're someone who doesn't want to be tied to one location, if you're someone who doesn't want to be a landlord, if you decide to move, if you want to live out of the country, then buying a property, unless you are purely buying it for financial gain, for renting, for something of that nature, and you're not going to live in it, might not be the best decision for you. All right, the last myth for our boomer era folks is a college degree guarantees a good job. That used to be true. Very much so. I grew up in that era of my family saying, you got to go to college. That's how you're going to succeed. That's how you'll get ahead. And to a degree, that definitely has helped. but with the onset of different avenues of income, such as YouTube and TikTok and all the different ways that people can use their creativity to actually make a very lucrative life for themselves, a degree doesn't always necessarily equal that. There are some people that I know that did not choose to go to college. They wanted to do a trade. They rather, wanted to get out of, high school and go right into a trade and work. And they have created amazing lives for themselves because they have a trade that we can't live without, right? When something happens in your home, if you're a homeowner and you're responsible for this and you need a plumber, the plumbers are not cheap, okay? The electricians are not cheap. But it's a need and it's something that you can't ignore. And so a lot of people in those different trades or what have you have done really, really well. So that one, you can take with a little bit of a grain of salt on that one. A college degree definitely doesn't hurt, but unfortunately going to college in the United States is so expensive that I would say if you are seeking a degree, please be dedicated and please be sure that is exactly what you want to do. And there is no other avenues that will help you that might be less financially straining to where you're looking to go in life. There's a lot of folks I know who've gone into certifications versus actual college degrees, and they've been able to navigate through the career world. Nowadays, there are a lot of companies that are not looking for college degrees. They are looking for experience, certifications. The college degree does not hold all of the weight that it used to hold. Trust me, I know. All right. So those are some of the boomer era myths. So we'll be looking into the Gen X money myths and what are the Gen X folks getting as far as myths in regards to their financial, informational pass downs. All right. Do you have a money myth that's been passed down to you? Let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And I'd love to know what money myths have you been given in your lifetime thus far. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.